Let's try that again. What's going on, everybody? This is Dylan with the Just Gonna Say It podcast, and I hope y'all are having a great week. It's the last week of 2022, and so this is going to be our best of episode. So for those of you that are watching it on video, you're gonna see some show and tell. For those of you that are just listening to the audio of it, you're gonna hear about it. But anyway, it's on YouTube, it's on all the podcast platforms, all the everything. So I hope everybody is really into this. This is something I've been wanting to do for a couple years, is put together kind of a just favorite gear. But so here's how we did this. This wasn't me. Now I do have my favorites too that we're going to talk about. But what we did was we put a Google form up, where you could actually go and vote on all of the stuff that we had. So we do gear news every Wednesday, right? We do gear news every Wednesday at noon. And basically, I just pulled from all of the gear news episodes. It took a while to go through all of the gear news episodes and pull out most of the new gear from 2022. The only things that I kind of left out were stuff like, the Greenie Les Paul, where there was like only 50 of them and they were 50 grand a piece, or stuff that was really limited where you're only going to get 10 or 15 of them. I left in basically everything that was like real gear that you and I would like and buy on the daily basis that we could get regularly, right? Like some of the custom stuff wasn't there. And so we have 4 categories with this. So we've got miscellaneous gear. So what's going to fall into that is like strings and tuners and plugins and outboard gear, like recording stuff like that. That's the miscellaneous gear portion. We've also got a section for the best pedal of 2022. We've also got the best amp of 2022, and we've got the best guitar of 2022. So all of these things that we're going to talk about are going to be according to what you chose on that survey. And we had hundreds of participants. So this is really, really fun. It's really, really cool. As we go, if you have questions about any of this stuff or you're wondering about any of it, you can go ahead and ask it over there. I'll try to catch it. We'll also obviously drop what we're doing for Super Chats. And I think this is going to be kind of fun. So I basically put the runner-up as well as the winner, because I think the runner-up is kind of fun too. And then the third thing on each of these is going to be my choice, because some of the best ofs matched. Like, I thought it was pretty awesome too, but some of it didn't. So we will talk about all of those things as we go, in case anybody cares what I think. But anyway, this is mostly all y'all. So you are the ones that chose all this stuff. So yeah, and there's links to everything in the description. If you want to cheat or follow along, I put all of the links down there so that you can go look at all of this stuff right now if you want, in a separate window or whatever. In fact, that's what I have. I have the description here so that I can not forget anything that we talked about. So, no brown nosing here. The best gear I bought this year was Dylan's DAFs. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Of course, we have... Oh, you know what we should do too? At the end of this, let's look at... Because I need to pull up my website to see it. But we'll also maybe look at some of the most popular stuff that people bought from Dylan Talks Tone too. Because I was looking at it the other day, and I don't have it off the top of my head. But we'll grab that kind of when we're all done here towards the end. And we'll talk about the most popular stuff from Dylan Talks Tone, because we've been busy. So let's get into this. Let's get into the best miscellaneous gear of 2022. This was an interesting one. So this included interfaces, plugins, strings, tuners. I mean, like clip-on tuners, not like pedals, because that's a pedal. I put those in the pedals. And the runner-up was a really interesting one, because I personally don't know anybody that bought one of these. So maybe this vote was based on I want one, but I don't have one yet. I'm not sure. I have one. It's also weird that I just by chance actually have most of the stuff on the list, which is kind of crazy. The Positive Grid Riff was the runner-up for best kind of outboard miscellaneous gear of 2022. This was a surprise to me because, like I said, I don't know too many people that are using it. Now, I know their plugins are fantastic. The Positive Grid stuff is great. The software is awesome. And of course, you know, the Positive Grid Spark and the Spark 40. I have both of those. Those things are amazing. But the reviews were kind of mixed on this as to whether it was a very useful piece of kit. And so I'm very surprised to see that it made so high in our survey of outboard gear. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you all purchased. If you have one of these, let me know. And let me know how you use it and what you do with it. Because if you put that in the comments, I think that'll help other people out. Because I never actually did a review on it. Because I got it and I was like, it's a cool interface and I kind of like it. But the thing is, not to jump ahead to amps, but the Positive Grid Mini has an interface built into it too. So I can plug this in to my computer just as easily as I can plug this in, and I can use this as an interface and monitor with the speaker itself. So I felt for the money output and for the usefulness overall, like more purposes than just one purpose, that the Positive Grid Mini was more effective for me than the Positive Grid Riff. But maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I am missing something. Please let me know in the comments if I'm missing something. If I'm missing something super cool about this that I didn't see, that you all saw. And if you give me a good idea about it, I'll do a video on it because I do want to know. This was a real surprise to me. Runner-up for outboard gear for 2022. I was going to say, I think I have a container for that. Okay, so the winner for the outboard gear or extra gear, miscellaneous gear portion of this was Stringjoy Foxwood acoustic strings. I would imagine that the Stringjoy Orbiter coated, so Foxwood strings are Stringjoy's new coated strings for acoustic, and their Orbiter strings are their coated strings for electric. I would imagine that had the Orbiter strings come out earlier in the year, they probably would have trumped the acoustic versions on this list. But they came out so late in the year, I don't think we were actually able to, we started this survey about Thanksgiving time, and I'm pretty sure that it was too late. I think the Orbiter strings were just not available enough. They are now. You can get them. You can order them from Sweetwater. There's a link in the description. They are fantastic, fantastic strings. If you have experimented with coated strings in the past and didn't like them, try them. They're not slick and gross feeling. Like some people like that Teflon-y kind of smooth, really slick feeling. Personally, I don't. I like a regular feeling string. But I've had them on... Let's see. I've had them on my Yellow Junior, and I've had them on my Silver Sky for quite a while now, and they still sound fantastic. I put another set of regular string joys on a different guitar, and when you play them side by side, the 3 or 4 week old ones sound just as good as the brand new ones that I just put on a different guitar. They, so you can kind of tell the feeling of strings, even across guitars, and they feel really good. They're super good strings. I'm really, really stoked on them. So that is the winner of the miscellaneous, section. Let's just take a scroll back through some of these comments and see if somebody said their best gear of the year was a cheap $20 overdrive pedal. That's killer, dude. Please do me a favor. Actually, he gives us a good idea. What did you get this year? And what was your favorite piece of gear that you saw, either saw or bought? Put that in the comments, and we'll try to get to some of those as we chat about all of this. I guess we should move along. Can anyone get into the NAMM show? Do you have to be a dealer or a YouTuber next year in Anaheim, California? It is. It's going to be in April in Anaheim, and you have to be either invited by a company or be a member of NAMM and buy a badge and all that. Or have a company invite you. So there's a company in California, they're a recording studio actually, that invites me every year. So that's how we get to go. All right. I guess we should talk about pedals. There was a lot of pedals. There was a lot of pedals this year. The runner-up for these pedals was also a surprise to me. And it was the PRS stuff. All three of them. The reason I'm surprised by this is because these are fantastic. They are super, super, super good. They're all three of them. The compressor, the overdrive, as well as the flanger. I should say, I got an email from PRS today, and they watched my horse meat video, and they're like, I think that your joke about IKEA meatballs was really funny, and we're all good. Like, I was worried about that a little bit. Not worried, because I'll do it anyway. I don't care. But I was like, I mean, you know, you don't want to make anybody too mad, but it was fun. It was funny. And so they thought it was pretty funny. So anyway, so this PRS line of pedals was the runner-up for the best pedals of the year. And you think about all the pedals that came out. There was a bunch of stuff. I've got a bunch of them here. We've got, the Origin Effects stuff. A bunch of Origin Effects stuff came out. A bunch of Boss stuff came out. The Boss Delay reissue stuff came out. There was all kinds of good pedals this year. There was just tons of them. So I was actually very surprised because people were very critical of this pedal, saying it was too expensive and it was too PRS and, all the things that people like to pile on to stuff that they aren't familiar with. You know how that is. And so I was really surprised to see the PRS horse meat, the PRS compressor and flanger, whatever the dumb names are called. They were the runner-up. The winner of the year is a pedal that I actually sold already because I personally didn't connect with it that well. So the winner of the pedals of the year for our little survey here for 2022 is the MXR Duke of Tone. That was by a pretty good margin, too. I want to say, let me see here. I have this in front of me. 19.3% to 14.6%. So I guess not too bad. In third place was the Boss Space Echo. Second place was the PRS pedal line. And then the MXR Duke of Tone was the winner. Now that pedal is really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it was a bad pedal. It wasn't useful to me in the way that I thought it was going to be when I bought it. I bought that pedal. PRS sent me these pedals, and they told me I could keep them. So that's cool. But everything else, I think, well, the Gibson stuff too, I guess they sent me those. Origin Effects sent me one. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's about it. But I paid money for the MXR Duke of Tone, and I liked it. It was good. But it just didn't hit my use case very well. I just didn't feel like with my amps and stuff that I liked it that much. So I sold it to one of you. Actually, one of you owns it now. I passed it on, and he really likes it. And everybody I know that plays this pedal really, really likes it way more than me. So if you have not tried the MXR Duke of Tone, make sure that you do. Yeah. Dude, you're so much more of a professor than a product reviewer. I say go with it. Here's the thing, man. I don't care. When I see something I'm interested in, let's just do a little aside to this right now. When I see something I'm interested in, I go for it. And if there is a pedal that I want to review or that I like or that I'm curious about, even if I don't know if I like it, like the Duke of Tone, for example, I just do it. I don't care. And to tell you the truth, views be damned. Because you know what? Reviews on my channel are the worst video, like the worst viewed videos. But I don't care because I like to make them. I think they're fun. I enjoy exploring gear just as much as you do. And one of the things that I like to do, in fact, Gibson sent me an email today and they were like, we appreciate how nerdy you get about this stuff. So one of the things I like to do is really break down what these pedals actually do and why. For example, I want to do a video about overdrives and amps and why not every pedal sounds good with every amp. I want to do that video. And there's a real reason for it. And it is kind of the reason why the MXR Duke of Tone didn't work for me. It's because of how I use pedals. And the amps that I have. Because I kind of have two opposite extremes of amp. I have a real high wattage amp that's really lots of clean headroom, and I have a real low wattage amp with no clean headroom, or very little. So, that's kind of the fun thing about doing all this stuff. So, MXR Duke of Tone. Super, super fun stuff. Super fun stuff. I suppose we should let's talk about my choice for 2022 because it was neither of those pedals. It was not the PRS. I do like the PRS stuff a lot. I like the PRS horse meat a lot. It's really good. But my favorite pedal of 2022 is actually one, we reviewed it. I bought it with my own money. They did not send me a free one. And it was one, so I should say, my choice for these things were stuff that I liked well enough that I bought it myself. And it literally to the point where we did the news, like, hey, the Gear News, because remember these all came out of Gear Newses, right? The Gear News came out and I'm like, holy crap. And I probably even said it in a video. I was like, in the video, hey, this is a new gear, just came out. I think I'm going to have to get this. Literally stop shooting the Gear News, upload it, and order the product right away because I'm personally super excited about it. And the pedal of the year for me was this thing. And it is the Wampler Moxie. I love this thing. This is, to me, is three pedals in one. It's like a boost. It's a TS9 or TS10 tube screamer. And then it's like a DS1 almost, like super gainy, really, really versatile. What I like in a good overdrive pedal is one that I can use with multiple amps and multiple guitars and don't have to do a bunch of stuff. I can just twiddle some knobs and hit a couple switches and get a good sound. Because I don't have time. When we're shooting videos and when I'm testing guitar pickups and stuff, I don't want to be messing around with, well, let me find a good sound with this pedal, with this pickup, with this amp. I want a pedal and an amp to work together. Both of these amps that I use all the time, I want them both to be good with the same pedal. And with a couple of clicks, I can get a good high gain sound, a good low gain sound. I can listen to Edge of Breakup. And I can play around with those things without doing a bunch of screwing around because I don't have time for that because that's how I use this stuff. Of course, I play for fun too, but on the work side, I like something really flexible. This dude right here is it for me. Absolutely bonkers good. The Origin Effects Halcyon is also awesome. We talked about this pedal a bunch. I really like this thing a lot, and I do use it a bunch. But as far as my go-to, just grab it every day pedal, this is the one. My only kind of thing about it is the switches are so small that you have to like go like this with a pick or a knife blade or something and switch them because they're so small. So that's the only thing I don't like about it. But the sound, the versatility, everything. The Wampler Moxie, 100% my favorite pedal of 2022 for sure. Absolutely for sure. I have a P-Bass pickup coming from Dylan. Oh, cool. Very cool. Let's see. Oh, Brian Phelps, you're the one that bought my pedal. That's cool. Very cool. Somebody got a Keeley Caverns. I have not tried that, and that's really cool. I would really like to try that. TC Infinite. Awesome. Let's see. It is because of the video made with the Duke of Tone was so instructive. You're able to teach people the signal chain, and that visualization helped. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about. Is like the balance of the nerdiness with the like how it actually works with the actually having fun with the thing, right? You're gonna see me, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna see me focus a lot more on having fun. I think that guitar playing and guitar players have gotten way too wrapped up in the dogma of what the religion of this is and gotten too far away from, hey man, what's fun? Why do I like this thing? Because it's cool. Like, do you like paper and oil caps? Cool. I'm glad you do. They're cool. They're really cool. I'm actually building some stuff with paper and oil caps, even though I don't personally care about them and I don't think they make anything sound better. But they're cool. So use them. Cool stuff's cool. So let it be cool. You know what I mean? Like, and that's on me too. Instead of saying, that's a thing that I'm trying to do differently, is instead of saying just because something doesn't make a difference doesn't make it not cool. Like, you know, so if you like nitrocellulose finish on your guitar because it feels nice, use it. Buy it. You know what I mean? I have that too, and I like it. Same reason. Does it make it sound any different? No, but doesn't matter. It's cool, right? So that's what we're really trying to lean on a lot more. What was your favorite new product that you produced last year? Let's leave that one towards the end, and we'll talk about my favorite new product that you got a Thorpe Effects. Cool. Very cool. All right, so that's pedals. Let's talk amplifiers. Let me see. I think you guys already know the answer to this one. And I think you probably know that my amp choice is going to be very close to what your amp choice was. For this one, let's go out to third place. I thought this was going to be higher, to tell you the honest truth. But third place for the year is the Spark Mini. You guys, if you don't have one of these, go get one. This is the coolest little dude. I use this little thing. I bet I use it more than my other amps. Because I go sit in the living room and play. I take it in the van with me when we go on trips in case I come across a guitar. Even if I don't bring a... So that's the thing. Even if I don't bring a guitar, I bring this. Because what if a guitar pops up? You have to have an amp. And it's only this big. So I bring it with me everywhere. Whenever we're on the road and we're shooting videos that include guitars, I use this to record. Bet you didn't know that because it sounds so awesome. Yeah, man, I love this thing. Absolutely love this little amp. So that was third place. Second place on that list was another amp that I own, and it is the Black Star St. James. I have to tell you, that amplifier is. I know that some people kind of talk crap about Blackstar and their serviceability and their all that. And to be fair, when I bought this, I used it for a week and it died, and I had to get a new one. That happened a couple times this year. We'll get into another one in a minute. But I got a second one. It was fine. Everything is fine. It's been fine. I've been using the crap out of it. I use it all the time. I leave it on for hours and hours and hours because while we're shooting videos, you'll leave the amp on and you'll like go lay some sounds down. You'll go look at the video. You'll decide what you're going to use. You'll come back. You'll shoot it so the amp can sit here for 4 or 5 hours with the power on. So I mean, I beat it, you know, and it works awesome. And I play it wide open through the power scaling, or not through the power scaling, but through it has a load, reactive load in it. So I use that because we don't, you know, I live in an apartment now, so can't have tons of noise. So anyway, that thing is really freaking good. And if you want a tube amp with all of the stuff from the 21st century, as far as your IRs and your on the software side, being able to use it to record, play quietly, but still have a 6L6. I have the 6L6 one, or an EL34 amp because that's available also. It is the jam. And for those of you that say, I'm going to buy it and it's going to be a piece of crap because it's a Blackstar, remember that this is not a normal Blackstar. This is a completely new thing. This has not existed before. So, okay, is it new tech that we might not know if it's going to be good? Yes, I see your point on that. However, this type of power supply, a switch mode power supply, is super reliable. They've been used in all kinds of equipment, computer monitors, I was thinking about, and TVs and all kinds of stuff for years and years and years. And they're really good. So this thing's super fun. I really, really enjoy it. Does the Spark Mini have Bluetooth capability? It does not have Bluetooth to the guitar or to your ears. It has Bluetooth to your phone so that you can play with all the settings. Bluetooth to your ears and Bluetooth to the guitar still has a little too much latency to be effective, in my opinion. I would not want that. I would not want that. All right, so that was the runner-up. The winner, obviously, and it's my choice too, so we don't even have to talk about it. The Princeton Tone Master. This amp, you guys, is so good. It is, I'm a Princeton freak. I've loved the Princeton amplifier since I was a kid. I don't feel like you give up anything except for weight and heat. This thing is really good. It sounds really good. It even does the things that Princeton's do that I don't like properly. Fender amps have a tendency when you play really bassy stuff through them, like really low end, heavy stuff, they kind of fart out. This does that. It doesn't the Princeton amount though. It doesn't do it the deluxe amount, which is more. It's really awesome. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, well, that's $8.99. They should have put all the amps in there. No, they shouldn't have. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They kept the Fender legacy alive by keeping it simple. They make it a saleable product to people that don't want all the buttons. There's a lot of people that stay away from digital technology because they hate the buttons. They just want to walk up to an amp and turn a knob. And that's what that thing does. And if they like a Princeton, they like a deluxe, they like a twin, they like a super reverb, you can just go buy those amps and you can have that amp. And it sounds like that amp. And there will be a bunch of people that will get in the comments and be like, yeah, but if you put it side by side, but nobody plays it side by side. So it doesn't matter. You don't need to worry about Aing and Bing it because you're not going to A and B it. You're not going to do it. You're not going to use it like that because you're not going to record like that. You're not going to gig like that. And you're not going to practice like that. That's not how it works. You could take two tube Princetons and put them side by side and they will sound just as different as a tube Princeton and a Tone Master Princeton. So it doesn't matter because you don't really play like that. You're not really trying to make everything sound exactly the same. And I really, really, really like this amp a lot. Some people said they don't like the tremolo, but I think it's really good. I think it's not my favorite tremolo. I would say a Vibroverb optical tremolo out of like a brown panel Vibroverb from like 1970 is probably my favorite. But this is a good tremolo. It's really good. It works really good. Kindly do not A and B with products. You know what's funny? I say that too. A and B testing stuff is dumb because it's pointless. It's like, do you like how it sounds? Well, I liked how it sounds until I A and B'd it to the next one, and then I didn't like it anymore. Like, then don't do that. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It reminds me. This is an old like dad joke, but I heard this guy one time, and he said he walked up to a guy and he had his hard hat on sideways, and he's like, "Why do you have your hard hat on sideways?" He's like, "Because then when I put it on straight, it feels so good." You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's what that is. It's like intentional misery for no reason. Like, it's because this stuff is good if you would just let it go and let it be good. Okay, end of rant for the amp stuff. Princeton Tone Master, best of 2022. Freaking awesome. I love this amp. Love it. There's been 2 or 3 on my list that I was going to buy, and I kind of just threw the list away. Because I feel like with these 3 amps right here, I'm good. Like, I am good. I like these 3, suit all my needs. I have a high watt, 50 watt, super clean. I can hear everything, testing pickups, playing, using pedals, testing pedals, super clean. And then this thing over here, low watt, push it over the edge with a P90, no pedals. And then, of course, the little practice dude. All 3, fantastic. I can play them all 3 into the computer. I can record direct with all 3 of them. I could not be happier with all 3 of the amps that I have. Fantastic. All right. I guess this brings us to the guitars of the year. Now, had I thought about this properly, I would have done this differently because I would have done an acoustic and an electric section. And I and I didn't do that. So let's do this. Right now in the comments, do me a favor and tell me what you think is the best acoustic guitar of 2022 that came out in 2022 that you can remember. And I know that that's you might not be able to remember them all, and you might just pick randomly. But if you can think of a good acoustic guitar that you really liked in 2022, I'm going to give you my picks as I think of it. Has there been any new game changer pots of the year? My 500K just packed up. If not, which are the best? 500K stuff is interesting. We've been using Borns for 500K stuff. We've been using CTS for 250. That's based on availability right now because we use so many of them. I like Borns because I like how easy they spin. If you want a stiffer action, use a CTS. You could go super nuts and go with the Dunlop dust-free ones, but they're like 25 bucks a piece, so I don't use those. But those are pretty cool too. Yeah. Somebody says the G-hole. I love it. All right, let's talk guitars. So here's the thing about guitar stuff. Hang on, this is in my way. Okay, we need to start with third place with guitar stuff. I didn't expect this. I did not put this in there for any reason. I included it because it was on the list of things that we covered in the Dylan Talks Tone Gear News on a Wednesday. And third place with 12.4% of the votes. You have to remember there's a lot of guitars, so it's like really split up. But in third place was the Texas Toast Guitars Challenger X and Special. I put those together because they're very similar guitars. They're just appointed differently, which that's really neat. I'm really cool. I'm really stoked that those guitars are becoming more popular because Texas Toast Guitars makes a really good instrument. Handmade in Colorado. You know, those guys are really cool. They make really good stuff. I should say they're making a run of Challenger X's right now. And I've got 5 sets of humbuckers over there that we made for those. So we're making a bunch of their pickups. I've got 3 loaded pick guards over here that are going out to, a top secret project out there in Colorado. So they do use our stuff. So I should say that. But I just put it on there because it was on the list. And so I think it's really neat that those guys made third place in amongst all of the other guitars. Now, I know that we have a bunch of crossover audience, and this was just our audience, you know, anybody who saw this stuff. So I do get that, but still, that's really cool. I want to push those guys as much as possible. They don't use my pickups in every guitar, so I'm not saying it for that reason. I just think, you know, when you have, when you know people that are good people, and you just want to see them succeed. That's me in Texas Toast Guitars. I want to see them succeed. Their stuff is so good. Their classes are so good. Everything. They're so fun. It's so fun. I really, really enjoy working with those guys a lot. And so, yeah, I want to give them as many plugs as I can because they are really cool dudes. And I just think it's so neat that they made third place in amongst the sea of guitars that we talked about on Gear News in 2022. Really cool. Number 2 on that list, I also own right up here, the Yamaha RevStar. So the Yamaha RevStar came out this year in kind of a new re-release, I don't know, I want to say a reissue, but anyway, it's out. And it was in our Gear News, and it is a redo, I guess, redux, you know, whatever you want to call it. Very good guitar. That's the cheap one. It's $500. And it's really good. I don't like the pickups in it. They're kind of dead. Somebody in the comments said they're not dead, they're just warm. No, they're dead. They're not that great. But in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a couple of videos on that guitar, and we're going to make that thing freaking awesome. And it is a really good guitar. It plays fantastic right out of the box. The fretwork is great right out of the box. The finish work is great right out of the box. When we do a full review on that guitar, I'll show you some very specific things about why that RevStar is such a fantastic instrument for $500. And it's a unique shape. It comes in unique colors. It's really good. I bought it because one of you wanted it. And so we're doing like a project build, and then I'm going to send it to you when I'm done. But I probably wouldn't have bought it on my own, except for a bunch of people were interested in it. And then when I pulled it out of the box and started playing it, I'm like, this thing is really good. Like, really good. For $500, man. Really good. It can be way better. It can be way better. But it will be. But man, what a good guitar. What a fantastic instrument. Can anybody guess what, can anybody guess what, oh, I guess I just screwed something up. What the guitar of the year is. Just kind of curious if you would know. I think the Rev Pro is the same thing with better electronics. The guitar is no different. Let's see. Trying to go back through here and see Yeah, Texas Toast is in Colorado. Yes, they are. They are in Denver. Uh, the Acoustasonic. So you think your favorite guitar was the Acoustasonic? That's very cool. The Squire 40th anniversary gets my vote. The Squire 40th anniversary guitars were really good. There was a couple of little problems with them, but they were really good. And I think the problem with those guitars is they came out at a time when Fender was kind of on the outs with a lot of people. They had just laid off 300 people. It was a real, you know what I mean? Fender was just a little this year for a lot of reasons. They did a lot of really good stuff. But I think the 40th anniversary ones kind of got a bum rap because of that timing, because of when they came out. But, and I think they were actually just behind, in fourth place, behind the Texas Toast guitars. So, yeah, very cool. Excellent. Okay, so if you have not guessed what the guitar of the year was, I'm just going to tell you. It is the PRS Silver Sky SE. I had one. I sold it to a guy locally, and the only reason I sold that guitar, and I kind of regret it actually, is because I have an American one, so I don't really need two of them. But that guitar was really good. I would still, to this day, even to you folks who are whack about Fenders, because I am too, I love Fender guitars. I have my favorite guitar I've ever owned is a Fender. It's better. The PRS Silver Sky SE is better than any made in Mexico Strat that you can buy right now. It's just better. The frets are better. It sounds better. It plays better. It feels better. The finish is better. Everything about it is better. The materials are better. And don't get me started about Poplar because it doesn't matter. It's a good guitar. That is a really good guitar. And I know a lot of people don't like the peg head and stuff. I get that. That's a subjective thing. But that thing is really good. It's a really good instrument. And if you have an opportunity to own one, either new or used, I recommend you try because they're really good. Like I said, I wouldn't buy one again because I have this one, but they're not the same. The necks are so different, like so completely different that you don't even play them the same. The profile is completely different. The width is different. The thickness is different. It's different, but it's very good. Very good. I really, really dig it. This video is a combination of all the other videos that are just commercials for his affiliate links. Art, I've not gotten to say this to you in person, or as in person as it gets. If you don't like what we do, scroll past. That's all. I'm really proud of our content, and I love what we do here, and I'm having fun. And that's all I care. And if you don't like it, keep on scrolling. And I hope you enjoy playing guitar too. So it's nothing against you as a person, because you might be a cool guy, but you aren't really cool in the comments. So, just keep scrolling. I have no problem calling somebody out like that. It does not bother me at all. Okay, let's talk about my guitar choices of 2022. Because they are none of this. These guitars came out in 2022, and they are guitars that I bought with my own money, with no sponsorships or no anything. First, let's start with the acoustic side, because I have one sitting here. The Gibson G-Hole. This thing is phenomenally good. There's a couple of reasons why I really love this guitar. One is it plays fantastic and it sounds fantastic. I don't know that I necessarily care that it has the G-hole or not. I don't know if that necessarily is a thing for me. That's not why I like it. I could probably take or leave the G-hole. I love how the guitar looks. I love the inlays and the fret markers. I love the walnut body and the spruce top. I love how it sounds. I love how it feels. Most importantly, and this is going back to what I was saying earlier about how I'm going to let people feel how they want to feel about gear. Like if you like paper and oil caps, use them. I think it's awesome. Because this guitar right here changed my mind about some pretty major stuff. I never played Gibson scale acoustic guitars before because I always liked a 25.5-inch scale acoustic. I never played 12 gauge strings because I love 13 gauge strings. I just think they feel good. I have them on all my acoustic guitars. That's how they came. That's how I left them. That's how I love them. I think they're great. This guitar came with 12s on it. It has the Foxwood strings on it now. The Stringjoy Foxwood strings on it. 12s. And it's a 24/7/5 scale. And let me tell you, the shorter scale and the lighter strings have made me play and learn differently. I've been practicing different stuff differently. This guitar is in the living room and I play it every day. 100% every day. I have 3 guitars that live in the living room and I actually play all of them every day. My McPherson Sable carbon fiber, a 25.5-inch scale with 13s on it. This, that is 24 3/4 scale with 12s on it. And I actually have a close travel guitar in the living room. And I don't know what that scale length is. I know it's short with 12s on it, and it's really spongy. It's really fun. And I play all of them every day for different reasons. You want to play a certain way, strum hard, like really play hard, I play the McPherson. If I want to practice some finger picking stuff or play some scales or whatever, I play this. If I'm just kind of kicking around watching TV or whatever, I play the close. But I play all 3 of these guitars pretty much every day. I don't know about equally, but they all get played every single day. All 3 of them are in the living room, and I absolutely love them. I think they're super, super cool. Really, really fun stuff. I love this guitar. So that was not in the list because I failed to put acoustic guitars in the list. So sorry about that. And y'all know what I'm going to say for the electric. This is, to me, the best electric guitar new on the market known to man right now. I love this guitar. Somebody said in the comments on my last video, well, I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was the Gibson pedal video. Somebody said in the comments, you need to keep that guitar because you just seem really comfortable on it. And it's funny that you notice because that's for real. I love this guitar. What's crazy is when I first played this at Sweetwater, not this, but one of these, at Sweetwater like 2 years ago, I knew that I loved it. And I put it off and put it off and put it off because one of the parameters, if we're going to spend real money around here for guitars, I'll just kind of give you some inside baseball here. But when we're making decisions, Leslie and I are talking about, okay, this is what we're going to do. She basically doesn't care what I buy guitar wise, like, because she knows I'm going to use it in a video, and it's part of, sorry, not sorry, even though Art Vandelay doesn't like it, we have to make money with these videos. This is how I make my living. So if there's no reason to mod a guitar, or there's no reason to make changes to it, or sell our pickups with it, or anything like that, then a lot of times I won't buy it. It's why I don't own a Les Paul right now, because I haven't really figured out how to justify it. Now, we'll buy these $500 guitars all the time, and then we sell them to you, and we do these things, and it's kind of fun. But real money, like kind of more expensive guitars like this one, I kind of put off because I was like, I can't. She's like, what are the videos going to be about? And I'm like, I don't really have an answer. So I guess I won't buy it. And then when they announced this blue, I was like, okay, I have to have this. And I bought it anyway, and it's my favorite guitar. 100%. And she doesn't care, of course, but yeah, my favorite guitar. Totally my favorite guitar. Um, I'm curious to see if EVH manufactures a bass in 2023, since there isn't a lot of new ground covered. Yeah, that's interesting too. Greetings from Athens, Georgia. Dude, I'm right down the road from you in Augusta. That's pretty cool. Um, yeah, excellent. So, I guess let's look really quick because I promised we would do this. Art's going to hate this part. Let's see. Analytics at Dylan Talks Tone for 2022. Top products by units sold. Can anybody guess? Um, Very interesting. So we sold the I can give you the top 4. In 4th place is our Telly style upgrade kit. We actually just sold some of those today. Our Telly style upgrade kit. So you can buy Telecaster pickups and a drop-in harness that all you have to do is solder everything up. It comes with CTS pots, orange drop cap. It's all like a drop-in thing. And it comes with the pickups. That comes in a set, the whole thing. So if you have a Squire Telly or you have actually you can get it with knobs and everything too. So if you have a Squire Telly or you have something older that you're trying to upgrade, you can literally just buy all the stuff, stick it in, and it just works. All of it. Comes with a jack, pure tone jack, the whole deal. The whole thing all in one spot. That's pretty cool. So that was in number 4. Number 3 is our center punch humbucker. For those of you that are not familiar with our center punch humbucker, it's about just under 10K. It has 2 different wound coils so that when you split the coils, the volume doesn't drop. I don't do it the weird PRS way with the capacitor and stuff. This is legit. This is just 2 different coils, different wire and winding and blah, blah, blah. So I don't really talk about the total details on the internet because, it's kind of the thing we do. But basically, think AC/DC, think 90s rock, think stuff like that you could do with a humbucker. And then when you pull that coil split, the volume doesn't drop down like a normal humbucker does. That thing is good. I love that pickup. That was the first. I don't want to say innovative because you don't really innovate with pickups unless you're Fishman. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't go that far or give myself that much credit. But it's the first kind of little special thing that I kind of figured out many years ago when we started doing this. The center punch humbucker is super cool. Barely edging that out is pre-wired Telecaster controls. So we sell just the wiring for a Telecaster. So if you have bought pickups from somewhere else and you just want to upgrade your wiring, you can do that, and you can get all the knobs and switch tip and all that stuff with it too. So that came. Number 1, our P90, because we make the best P90s in the world. I am not afraid to brag about that one because I really, really think they're very good. They're kind of a traditional build. I'll just tell you, they're 10,000 winds, Alnico 5. They're freaking amazing. They work really well. And then Don asked earlier, what is my favorite new thing that we did this year? And honestly, so we came out with like 3 different pickups this year: an Alnico 8 humbucker, another Alnico 8 center punch, and then an Alnico 2, our Thruxton humbucker that just came out like 2 weeks ago. That to me is the best thing I've done in a long time. Those pickups are so good. So good. Like real good. Alnico 2, they are 8.9K, something like that. They're basically kind of like Slash's pickups. That's what I was sort of going for, only the way I do it is a little different, but they sound awesome. I'm super stoked with them. I don't have a guitar to put a set in right now to have permanently, so that's next on the list. So I will probably be buying a Les Paul soon to do that. Let's see. Ooh, the Mike Ness guitar was pretty cool. Let's see. Do you have any opinion on the Cort CR250? Not really. I don't really have a opinion on that. If it's good, Cort makes good stuff. I mean, Cort makes the PRS Silver Sky SE, so they know how to make a good guitar as long as it's good and you like it and it sounds good. Um, you know, you're hoping for a P90 Cherry Burst Les Paul. Yeah, I think my next guitar is going to be. I actually almost bought one the other day. I was like right here. We were sitting on the couch, both me and Leslie, and I was like, I'm about to buy this, and then I was like, nah, let's do some other stuff instead. I was this close to buying a Slash Les Paul because I really, really, really want one. Leslie's like, yeah, if you get a Les Paul, you have to get a Slash Les Paul. And her favorite song is November Rain. That's her favorite song of all time. So she's like, you have to get the November Burst Les Paul if you're going to get a Les Paul. I was like, yes, ma'am, I can do that. Most YouTube channels these days are product commercials. This one happens to be cool. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. People really get into talking about that, but do you make any pickups aimed towards metal players? Yeah, our Super 8 is really good that way. Our Quattro is really good that way, and we're working on a couple other things too. Yep. Yeah, you're right. You don't make videos about stuff you don't like. I mean, really. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny what makes people. Kind of funny what upsets people, but I can't control your feelings. So, what are you gonna do? I'm having fun. You guys, this was great. I will make sure that we do this again next year. I want to do this again next year. I'm going to figure out a way to a couple of goals, just so you know, for 2022 content wise, is I really want to do some kind of viewer rig features. I've been into the knife stuff and the EDC stuff, and I've been watching other channels outside of guitars because I think it's important to learn stuff. You could just do the same thing another guitar channel does over and over again, and it doesn't really do anything for me. So I figure, let me look outside. So the knife stuff is where I've really gotten it from. And there, Taylor Martin at Best Damn EDC does a thing where he lets viewers submit their rigs, but the pictures have to be cool. Like, I don't want to see like your apartment and all of your cornflakes and stuff. Like, take a cool picture of your gear and submit it, and we might do some contests and stuff. So I'm thinking about doing some stuff like that next year. And then when we do this next year, I want to flush this out even more, and maybe even have a guest host to do it with me. Yeah, 2023, I want to make it bigger and just have more fun. I want to have more fun with it and be less of a nerd because I'm really enjoying making videos. I'm enjoying doing this podcast every Tuesday. I really love doing the news on Wednesday. That's probably one of my favorite things. And of course, the live stream on Thursday, man. The live stream on Thursday with Leslie, I will tell you, is my favorite part of this channel. We have fun doing it. We added a little off-topic section at the end that you all should hang out with us this week because we have a new, or we're going to have a guest this week because we're going to talk about wine in the off-topic section. And I don't really know that much about wine, and this dude does, so he's gonna come on. So it's gonna be sort of random. We'll talk about guitars for an hour and then get a little random with some wine afterwards. If you don't drink, that's cool. Bring a water, iced tea, whatever, and just hang out with us. 8 o'clock Eastern time on Thursday. This has been really fun, guys. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a good week.